What's good, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's the deal? All right. So Nice Kicks. They did like an award show for the best kicks of the year. So what I'm gonna do, just to do something different, is I'm gonna go through all the nominees and I'm gonna give my selections. I think the show is on the 15th. Let me see. Yeah, it says winners will be revealed on January 15th across the following categories. So I'm just going to give my selections. Some selections I got unanimous, who I just think. Some I got two, some I got three, but no more than three, and it varies. Okay, so let's go through the first one. So the first one is Sneaker of the Year award nominees for best sneaker release. You got the Joe Fresh Goods New Balance 992 Age Well. You got the undefeated Air Jordan 4. You got the Adidas Addy Star Cushion 3 Piggy Runner. You got the Bricks, you got the Jellyfish, and then you got the Awake New York Air Jordan 5. My selection, as you probably already know, is going to be the Bricks and the Jellyfish. It's just hands down, bro. Like I said, when them first came out, I waited and I was like, when a sneaker come out and I just study it and I look at the vibe and I peep it, I'm like, yo, them the sneakers of the year. And I guessed it. Like, everybody has their choice, but as you can see, these two selections are in for Sneaker of the Year, and I just think that the Bricks and the Jellyfish by far are blowing away the competition for the Sneakers of the Year. That's just my thought, okay? Second category, we got Sneaker of the Year Awards nominee for Best Women's Release. You got the Nike Asia 1 Pink Aura. You got the Jacques Moss by Nike Moon Shoe. You got the Swarovski by Air Jordan 1 Low OG Women's Stealth. You got the Nike Air Max 95 Pink Foam. You got the Saucony Daughter of the Moon. Unanimous is the Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson's shoe has just blown away. I've actually purchased three. You know what I'm saying? I finally got me a pair. I wasn't going to say nothing because something told me, man, I had to go down and check the plug, and the plug had them, and I had to get them. I couldn't wait. I got me a size 13 and a half in red. I'm not going to unveil them yet. I'm going to wait. I still got my list. I got like one, two, three. Got like four purchases that I got to make, but I went and caught me a red pair. So yeah, by far, it's the Asia Wilsons. It ain't even close. Like, ain't no other women's shoe that came out this year touching Asia's shoe by far. She's running away with that. All right. Sneaker of the Year award nominee for new sneaker model. You got the Jellyfish. You got the Converse Shea 001. You got the Nike Ja 3. You got the Nike GT Future. You got the Nike Pegasus Premium. And you got the Adidas Addy Star Avo SL. It's not even close. It's the Jellyfish. Shea shoe is cool for Converse, and then Josh shoe is a dope shoe. Definitely in there, but come on, man. The Jellyfish is such a dope shoe, man. It's so raw, the innovation. Pharrell did his thing. You can't even, there's not even somebody that can share that platform with dude. Like, bruh, that Jellyfish went hard. You know what I'm saying? If the Brick didn't come out this year, that Jellyfish would have shut everything down. Period. All right. Sneaker of the Year awards nominee for Best Sneaker Model of the Year. So we got the Air Jordan 5. And I guess they're saying what model released this year that was, dope. So you had the Air Jordan 5, and then you also had like the Awake 5. Then you also had the Tokyo 5. Then you got the Saucony Pro Grid Triumph 4. J Tips killed that model, right? Then you got the Vans Old School. I guess Vans did a lot of release with this model. Then you had the Air Jordan 4. Now, mind you, you had the Air Jordan 4, you had the Bricks, you had what else did you have that came out this year? The Undefeated 4. and then the Nike Air Max 95 OG Big Bubble, and then you had a ton of releases for the um for the 95 this year. My selection for models of the year is definitely going to be, ooh, that's a good one. I ain't think about it. Honestly, I'm gonna change my answer. I'm gonna say it's the fours and the 95s. Originally, it had the fives, but I didn't think about it like how I was explaining it, and I'm like, yeah, it's definitely got to be the fours because you had the undefeated and the bricks, which was battling each other for sneaker of the year. And then with all the 95s that got released this year, from you had that Kid Fat Friends and Family release, you had the OG, you had the 95 SBs that came out, and then you had a ton of different colorways that was killing. So yeah, it's the 95s and it's the fours for sure. Um, just off of the strength that you had the undefeated and the bricks that was battling all year for, like, everybody was going at it like, man, this is da da da. Yeah, so cool. All right. Sneaker of the Year Awards nominee for Best Women's Model. You had the Reebok Angel Reese 1. You had the Nike Air Max Muse. You had the Puma Speed Cat Ballet. You had the Nike Asia Wilson 1. You had the Nike Sabrina 3. And you had the Adidas Taekwondo May Ballet. For me, it's Asia and Angel for the best sneaker model of the year. They were in my top 10. And I'm just giving it out to these, I'm just shouting them out because they definitely pushed the envelope for variety this year. Although Asia, in my opinion, she ran away with the best sneaker model, I just think that Angel also gets her flowers. She, being who she is, being a star in her own right for the WNBA, along with Asia. Asia is definitely doing her thing, but I just also think that Angel needs to get some recognition, and she need to get supported. And I even looked today. I'm definitely grabbing my pair. It's on my list. It's one of the four things I gotta grab. So shout out to Asia and Angel. Ooh, sorry for that. Sorry about that. Yeah, so it's Asia and Angel for the best women's models of the year. All right. Next category, Sneaker of the Year Awards nominee for best basketball shoe. You got the Nike A1 Asia. You got the Converse Shea 001. You got the Nike Ja Morant. You got the Adidas AE2. You got the Adidas Harden Volume 9. And you got the Reebok Angel Reese 1. Okay? In my opinion, there has been a super debate on who has the best basketball shoes currently. And I'm telling you right now, it's definitely the AE2, and I'm gonna give Shea the nod also. Those are currently, like, Adidas. Nike is the powerhouse, but Adidas, man, when it comes to like basketball shoes, they've been killing it. And that AE2, not only was he killing last year with his version, but then to follow up with the AE2 and what they look like now, and even the Hardens, like Adidas is killing basketball right now, period. Just off of the strength of Anthony Edwards' shoe, you got James Harden, whoever else is repping Adidas as far as basketball concerned, and then with the release of Shea shoe. So I think it's them two, the AE2 and the Shea, for the best basketball shoes. All right. Sneaker of the Year Awards nominee for best collaboration. On this one, you got the Piggy Runner by Adidas. You got the Infinite Archives Air Jordan 17. You got the Undefeated 4. You got Joe's Fresh Good Age Well. You got J Tips, Jazz 9. And you got the Awake Air Jordan 5. My selection goes to, I picked 3. Out of these selections, I think the best collabs definitely goes to J Tips, the Awake, and Joe Fresh Goods. Um, first of all, in my eyes, I thought that the Awake 5 was like number 3 best sneaker of the year. The reason I said that because that color was we haven't other outside of Asia's release for her shoe, have we really seen a shoe that was so like a pink shoe that the guys was like, oh shit, and the way it was designed on a Jordan. I don't never remember a cold ass Jordan shoe that was all pink. Now we've had pink shoes before. For example, Joe Fresh Goods released a pink shoe, which was cold. But it's just something about that Awake and the design on the side, and it was on a 5 at that. Like that shit was hard. Like everybody was going hard crazy for that shoe this year. But you got to give it up to J Tips, and you also got to give it up to Joe Fresh Goods. Joe Fresh Goods has definitely been consistent. He's actually one of the reasons why New Balance is New Balance. You know what I'm saying? He ever since he joined New Balance, he has basically like almost single-handedly. I ain't gonna say he's done what Kanye has done for Adidas, no, but he has definitely cemented his, you know what I'm saying, his skill in the game as far as like designing and putting some nice collaborations together. But you also got to give J Tips his flowers. This man, like 2023, 2024, 2025, he been putting in work. You know what I'm saying? And I was just thinking like, okay, this is 2026. So far, the only like this year is gonna be a struggle, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna make a video on this because if you go back and think about 2023, 2024, 2025, which has been some solid years, now you got 2026, and I'm like, man, is the brands burnt out with designs? Because so far, these mocks are already talking about stuff that's coming out in Christmas, and they already talking about the Royal Blues that don't come out till Christmas. They already talking about the Space Jams that don't come out till Christmas. The hottest release of the year thus far is the Mind O1s, double O1s, and then they may have mentioned that Sylvester about to release his second variety of the bricks, but it's gonna be like in a Chicago Bulls colorway. Outside of that, there really ain't been nothing that has been popped off. Now, I haven't done my research to see when the Undefeateds and when the bricks started getting a little notoriety last year, but already this year, the only thing that's really popped off is these sandals or these mules by Nike. That's the hottest thing already, and it's mid-January, and I'm looking at cats ain't really got nothing to talk about because that like really the only thing that people have been talking about is the awards, and you know what I'm saying? Like there hasn't been nothing hot yet to really talk about. So, but anyway, the Awake, the Joe Fresh Goods, and the J Tips to me are the best collaborations of the year. Next category. Sneaker of the Year Awards nominee for endorsement collab. You got the Jellyfish, you got Little Yachty, Nike Air Force One, you got the Bricks, you got West Side Gun, Saucony, you got Travis, and you got Bad Bunny Gazelles. What did I give it to? Oh, I gave it to. Let me see. Oh, I gave it to the Bricks, West Side Gun, Saucony, and Jellyfish, hands down. No disrespect to Trav, but Nike is they not gonna let that go, and we've seen all the different colorways, but West Side Gun doing his thing for Saucony, the Jellyfish, and the Bricks is something a little bit more, it's something that's a little bit fresh. It's a little bit more on, you know what I'm saying? Air Force Ones, I was just saying the other day, like, man, they really running Air Force One down to the ground. Um, I'm really not a fan of the Adidas Gazelles. I've never really worn a Gazelle before or that type of shoe, so ain't nothing that towards Bad Bunny, but it's still gonna be consistently with Sylvester and the Brick Four, the Jellyfish, and West Side Gun putting his rendition of the Sauconys. The Sauconys is actually a nice shoe to have, just to have a pair. So shout out to them brothers. Um, what we doing now? Best storyline. Let me see. Hold on, did we get to that? Did something get erased? Okay, now here we go. Yeah, so the endorsement collab go to the Brick Jellyfish West Side Gun. Okay, licensing collab. Sneaker of the Year Awards nominees for licensing collab. Okay, you got the Levi Nike Air Max collection. Then you got the Kith A6 Marvel vs. Capcom. Then you had the Nike Air Max 95 UGO. You got the Reebok PlayStation. And then you got the Stranger Thing Nike Converse collection. My selection goes to Levi's 95 and Kith. Again, I'm a Nike Air Max 95 type of person. And these Levi's are going hard, especially the black pair and the blue pair. Also, Kith been doing this thing. These two colorways that they got, that whole collection is cold. Plus, he just constantly keep releasing stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Kith is somebody you got to definitely deal with. But like I said, the best licensing collab is definitely the Nike Air Max 95 by Levi, and definitely Kith with A6 and Marvel vs. Capcom. Period. All right, we 17 minutes in, and we got about five more categories to go. Sneaker of the Year Awards nominee for Best Collaborator. You got Ronnie Faig, you got Nigel Sylvester, J Tips, Pharrell, Bad Bunny, and Joe Fresh Goods. My selections, J Tips, Nigel Sylvester, Pharrell, and Joe Fresh Goods. Nothing against Kith. I was just in Kith yesterday. I love his designs. I love his quality and everything. Bad Bunny, I really ain't, although I did pick the one shoe that he did for Adidas this past year. I did put that in my top 25. But I'm sorry, dog. Like, first of all, Joe Fresh Goods in Chicago. J Tip's been doing this thing. Pharrell by himself, man. Like, Pharrell just been doing this thing. Not only if it's music, but the shit that he also doing with Louis Vuitton, and it's almost damn near anything that Pharrell put his hands on is gonna be like, you gotta pay attention. And then by far, just off of the strength that brick shoe was like, man, it was just on another level this year. So shout out to them brothers. All right, best storyline. You got the UGO Nike Air Max 95. You got the Sylvester Brick by Brick. You got the Adidas Rival Low Grandma's Couch 2. You got the Nike SB Low Tourmaline, which was the Cowboy SB. You got Joe Fresh Good, New Balance Aged Well, and you got the Infinite Archives Air Jordan 17. My selection was the Cowboy SB and the Brick. Storyline behind the Brick was basically like, I believe it was his people driveway. You know what I'm saying? That brick color was something like, when he was doing his tricks and everything, he just remember being at his people's crib, and like that was like the color of the brick at his people house. The Cowboy SB, that whole storyline was like Black History Month last year, and it was basically giving the truth behind like the cowboy being like the original, or like, what you would call black people were like the original cowboys or whatever. So shout out to Nike SB, and shout out to the bike uh, line for doing them storylines for the shoes. That was dope. All right, 3 more to go. Sneaker of the Year Awards nominee for Best Commercial Ad. You got the Unbannable Air Jordan brand. You got the Asia Wilson Nike One of a Kind. You got Anthony Edwards Man Down for Adidas. You got Travis Scott and Jordan brand Welcome to the Factory with Rodman. And you got Rings and Things with Nike. Hands down, is Jordan's Unbannable. Is that me being biased? I don't know. But the whole thing with them blocking out the shoes and whatnot, that was cold. Seen the Rodman, did see the Rings and Things. I don't remember. Yeah, I do, because I saw that commercial too. But hands down is Jordan. I mean, Jordan is the reason why the sneaker game is the way it is for today. So it would only be fitting for him to get that award. Sneaker of the Year Awards nominee for Best Independent. You got Somewhere in America Collective. You got Skylark. You got Mach, spelled Mache. You got John Geiger Company. You got is it Sponge? But it's spelled Spung. That's what's my man that was doing the stuff for New Balance this year. And then you also got 741. Jalen's brand, new independent brand. Personally, I'm going with 741 and Somewhere in America Collective. I'm not familiar with Skylark. I think Skylark is what's her name, Beaver's brand. But the 741, I like what dude is doing. You know, he's stepping out a limb, created his own brand. And the Somewhere in America Collective, that brand is cold to me. He's very consistent. He's always like, he has mastered the art of being a consistent brand, a consistent person. Like, he drops new shoes damn near twice, maybe 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? He's got his own clothing line. He does women's stuff too. So dude is doing his thing. And shout out to what's her name, 741. We got one more category and we are done. Actually, is it one or yeah. Sneaker of the Year Awards nominee for Best Collection. You got the Bad Bunny Adidas Gazelle Puerto Rico. You got Converse Shade 01 the Family Pack. You got J Tips Saucony Flowers Grow Uptown. You got Levi's Nike Air Max 95. You got Reebok by PlayStation. And you got Kith A6 Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to give dude his flowers. I said dude has been killing 2023, 2024, 2025, but it's J Tips, man. J Tips, what he has done single-handedly for this Saucony brand is what we like to see in the sneaker world. He took a brand, he revitalized it, gave it like a fresh look, put his designs on it, and it is now something that I think should have been recognized 2 years ago. And I'm glad that he's being nominated in these awards, because these people need to be recognized, bro. I don't think he's been getting enough recognition as it is. So I'm very glad that, you know, he's doing this thing. I don't even really see a runner up for best collection. His collection is so bright and so vibrant that it just deserves to be standing by itself. So those are my nominees. Let's run through it again. Best sneaker release, I said Bricks and Jellyfish. Best women's release is the Asias. New sneaker model is the Jellyfish. Best sneaker model release of the year was the 4s and 95s. Best women's models is Asia and Angels shoes. Best basketball shoe is the AE2 and the Shea for Converse. Best collabs, I went with Joe Fresh Goods, Awake, and J Tips. Best endorsement collabs, I would say Bricks, Jellyfish, Westside Gun, Saucony's. Licensing collab goes to Levi 95 and Kith. Best collaborators, I went with the Jellyfish, the Brick, or you could say Pharrell, Nigel, Joe Fresh Goods, and J Tips. Best storyline, was the Cowboy SB and the Bricks. Commercial ad went to Jordan's Unbannable. Best Independent was Somewhere in America and 741. And Best Collection is J Tips. Like I said, these awards are these awards are going to be released on January 19th. I don't know if they're doing like a live event or anything, but this is the Nice Kicks Sneaker of the Year award nominees. So look around for on January 19th. I think that's Thursday if I'm not mistaken. But all right, peace.